Hi, so you may have noticed I have quite curly hair. When I was younger, I had sort of really long, slightly wavy hair. It wasn't really curly like this. And then when I was about 12, I cut all of my hair off into a bob and I used to straighten it every single day. What I did is I decided I wanted curly hair and I made my hair curly, and I thought I would share with you some tips on how to do this because I've tried loads of different methods over my life, some making my hair naturally curly, some naturally like styling it. If you want to make your hair naturally curly like I did, I would recommend growing your hair firstly, because when I had my hair that was this length, it was just not curly. Some people, if you cut your hair, it makes it curlier, and some people, if you grow it, it makes it curly. And here is the golden rule of curly hair: do not brush your hair. If I brush my hair, it's just like sort of wavy and really frizzy, like it goes like I have a wide tooth comb in the shower and I comb it when I'm conditioning. Wash your hair every other day. If you wash your hair every single day, it takes all like the oils out of it. That's when you get either frizzy hair or flat hair. Your hair stays more curly if it has natural oils in it. Do not rub your hair when you get out the shower. When I was younger, I used to get out the shower and like rub. No. Even if you don't want curly hair, like that can damage your hair. I squeeze my hair a bit when I've turned the shower off, and then I just flip my head upside down and wrap a towel around it and then just leave it for a few minutes. Also, what I tend to do is when I get out the shower, if I'm drying my hair naturally, I give it a bit of a scrunch. And if you are blow drying your hair, what you do is you tip your hair upside down and like hold it in like a scrunch and then blow dry that. At least that's what I used to do. Now I have a diffuser, which is basically this thing that's like this shape. You put your hair in it and then it blow dries it and you just leave it for a while. So now, like hair products. I went through a lot of different hair products to try and make my hair curlier, and what I've settled on as the best thing for curly hair is the John Frieda Frizzies product. I have the Dream Curls one, but this is just the best thing ever. I think it actually made my hair curlier as well as just generally making it softer. And my favourite curly hair product in the history of curly hair products is the John Frieda Frizzies Shine Serum. They recommend you apply it to soaking wet hair and that makes it shinier, but that never worked for me. So what I actually do is I wait for my hair to be dry. I do it now because I haven't put it on today. I just get a tiny bit all over my hands and then I just like run my hands through my hair and it just adds some shine and takes away the dryness and the frizz. It's especially good on second day hair. Even my naturally curly hair, when I wake up the next morning, it tends to be a lot drier and the curls tend to drop off a bit and it just gives it a bit of pizzazz. Some of this stuff is sometimes expensive, but Boost tends to do like a 3 for 2 thing on a lot of the hair products, which is quite good. That's how I get most of my stuff. This isn't sponsored by John Frieda, but it should be. Sponsor me, John Frieda. I love your products. And now on to unnatural methods of curling your hair. I know some people just don't have the right texture for curly hair, so if you have really fine, straight hair, that's just not gonna happen. There are lots of hot and non-hot methods without just naturally just getting out the shower and it being this fabulous. The curling wand. This is a Babyliss one. All you do is you just heat it up, you put a glove on so you don't burn your hand because obviously it gets quite hot, and then you just wrap your hair around, hold it for 10 seconds and then take it off. And what I tend to do is I hold it for a while. You get kind of like a ringlety style. For me, especially on the second day, it tends to kind of fall out and then also go frizzy. If you're doing it for like one day, it's great. It might be different for your hair type. It's really good to just try these things and see what works for you. You can also use a curling iron or straighteners. A curling iron is like this, but it has like a clamp around it. They tend to sort of straighten your hair as well as curling it, so it makes it a lot flatter. It looks a lot more like you've got it done at a salon. If you try and brush those out, it's not good because you just get straight kind of wonky hair. Also, I find straighteners really hard to use for curling your hair, and my favourite method, which I discovered like just a few months ago, is hot rollers. You get like 40s curls or just completely mad, beautiful big curls. The thing is, you have to put them in right if you want to get it right, if you know what I mean. The tutorial I use, I'll link in the description. If you have shorter hair or longer hair, different tutorials will probably work for you. I put them in when I have wet hair and let them dry in there as well, and then it tends to hold better. And these are particularly good because they last for 2 days. They fall out a little bit, but they still look nice on the second day. Also, a really good thing that I have learnt while using them is when you're rolling it, if you make sure you keep it near the center of the roller and don't like get it round the outside. Usually when I take them out, they're not quite dry, but I tend to leave them looking mad until it's dry and then I comb it out with my fingers. Only problem with those is that they take ages to do. I usually leave them in for about 2 hours and they're not even dried then. And then no heat methods, because obviously heat methods can damage your hair. I don't think hot rollers damage your hair as much as this can. I tried so many of these methods, and my favourite one, which is a bit weird, was getting straws, you know, like plastic straws, and wrapping my hair around it, and then you fold the straws in and grip them, and then you sleep on them or just leave them in for a while. When you take them out, you get like ringlets, and it's really cute. Normal rollers that weren't heated did not work for me at all. I wouldn't really recommend them personally. Another method I used to use a lot was plaiting my hair. If you have longer hair, you can just use 2 plaits, but what I used to do is you do like 4 around my head. It kind of leaves you like with more very flat waves, and the bottoms where you had the bobble or the hair tie tend to kind of stay straight, so it doesn't look that good in my opinion. I think it looks better if you have longer hair. And those are all my tips on how to get curlier hair, like moi. People always seem to ask me like, so is your hair natural? How do you curl your hair? What do you do to your hair? This video is the answer to all those questions. I'm very happy with my hair now. I used to kind of hate it. If you try any of these methods, let me know. Oh, I'm a beauty blogger now. Goodbye.